Hello, I will be showing y'all how to use Google Earth. Have your students open up the internet and type into Google. We're going to type in Google Earth, click on the link, and download Google Earth. So I have it down here. When you first download it, there's going to be a box that's labeled a startup tip, and it's going to show you how to navigate through Google Earth. Here we have the tools over here on the right side. We have Look, which is right here. We have the joystick, which moves north around, so you can use it to see from different vantage points. Alright, and then we have, as it says here, joystick to rotate. We use Move, which is the center of the controls right here, to move up and down and left and right. Here we have the zoom slider to zoom in and out. So here we'll test out the zoom slider. Okay, and then some other things they have, you can send feedback, you can navigate with Street View. And so to use Street View, you're just going to zoom in and out, and then when this little orange man appears, he's going to appear like about right here. You'll just drag him and drop him to where you want to view. Here you can find your house, just type in your address over here in the search bar. Again, for searching for places, you come over here and you can search. For example, I'll show you a couple of places we can search after we get done looking at the startup tip. So we have layers over here. You can use tours. There's a bunch of tour guides everywhere that you just play and you get to sit and watch along. And you can even view the past. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start out with the search bar. So to find your house or to search for places or anything, you just type in where you want to go. For example, this has 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Another example could be maybe a pizza place near New York City. I'm just going to type in our school, Houston Baptist University. Search. And it's going to start zooming in to HBU. So here we go. Here's our campus. Here's the dorms right here, and the lake, and the apartments. So another thing that you could do with this is go into the past. So right here, this little clock with the arrow going backwards, that would be the past. So if I click that, and I want you to take a look right here at the lake, because this is where it's most evident of the change. So let's say I go back to 1953, maybe a little bit more forward. Not loading. Okay, now look right here. The lake is gone, and there's a track. There's no apartments, or there's not a little lake there either. So there shows you looking into the past, and you could do that anywhere all over the earth. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom back out all the way. It takes a moment. Alright, so zoom in out to view the entire earth. Okay, up top here we have some other cool tools. So I'm going to go ahead and click out of that. And right next to it there's a sunlight tool. So this just shows you what's lit and what's dark. So over here in Africa, it's nighttime. Of course, over here it's daytime. It's 2:30, as you can see. And you can even go in the past and see how it was 6:43, 5:44, and so on. And what's really cool about this is it shows the Earth spinning and rotating around the sun. So you could see the stars moving in the background. So I'm going to go forward, back to where we are. Pretty cool. So I'm going to click out of that. Next, right next to it, you see this little planet here, and you can switch between viewing the Earth, which we're on right now, the sky, Mars, and Moon. So when you click on the sky, it shows you the stars and the galaxies, and it lets you explore them, which is really cool. So look here, we have a Pinwheel Galaxy, as it's labeled right here. And it has some cool things you can click on, like Welcome to Sky. and backyard astronomy, some information for you there, and so on. There's a bunch of different things you can click on. And when you zoom out, you can move on to different galaxies, and the same resources are there for you. So let's move on to Mars. Here you go, here's Mars. Can move Mars around, look at the ice caps at the top and bottom. And when you zoom into Mars, these little dots pop up with pictures. For example, here's a cool picture of a landscape for you, and that's just all over the place. Next, we're going to go to the moon. Here's the moon, and this is actually really useful for what we're doing in my mentor class, which is moon phases. So if I just wanted to do moon phases, I would click sunlight right here, and it shows you the moon phase. And you can go back and look through all the moon phases and manipulate that. So another cool thing you can do with your class is maybe if they all have their own computer or a group or something, you could say, show me a waxing crescent, and then they'd have to move their cursing around to a waxing crescent, or a waning gibbous, and you have to move it over full moon, new moon right here, just whatever, and then test your groups and see their knowledge of what they've been, their knowledge and understanding of what they've been learning. Again, if you zoom in, there's a bunch of things you can click on, a bunch of images, some flags. I think it tells some places have where they landed, and so on. So let's go back to the Earth. Here we go. Now over here, another thing I wanted to point out that was really interesting is the layers right here. You have borders and labels, which you can unclick, and maybe if you're in a geography class, you can have them find different places without using the border. Say you wanted them to find France, and you would come over here and try to find France somewhere without using the borders. Let me move this back over to north. So let's put that back up. They have places, photos, panorama, 3D, there are 360 cities, 3D buildings. They have trees. They have things you can do with the ocean, explore the ocean, shipwrecks, census of marine life. There's just dead zones, animal tracking, National Geographic. There's just so many different things you can do here. Weather. Here you can view the weather. What's going on right now? You know, here's some green spots where it's raining and the clouds showing up. This one's being a little bit slow to load, but it does show up. Gallery, all of these things, NASA, travel and tourism, volcanoes for a volcano unit maybe, just all of these great things you can explore. So I'm going to click through Voyager, and here you can go on a safari. So get started. You can start your safari or you can explore. I'm going to start it just so I can show y'all how it works. So first it's going to take us to some seals. There it goes. There's the seals. You can get out of this and move around if you want. I'm just going to go ahead and move on. Some more seals, some sheep, some hippos. Just all of these amazing different animals. You see over here, there's 66 places on the safari, all over the world. Alright, so one cool thing that you can do with this, you can get them in small groups, and you can have each of them maybe someone find the donkey, someone find the giraffe, someone find the flamingos, and then have them present that to the class. Maybe zoom in and show the different ecosystem. One thing I'm going to show you is if you want to show them different biomes or different ecosystems all around the world, you can just type in maybe some coordinates of something that you've previously set aside for them to know, or you can just follow this line, which is the Voyager, and it tells you where all of the animal pictures they have are. So I'm going to stop over here in Antarctica. say I want them to see what it's like where penguins live in this cold ecosystem, right? So I'm going to click the little star here, and I'm going to fly here, and I'm just going to let it zoom in. There's the side of the earth and the stars. Take a little bit to load, but it definitely will be clear quality when it's finished. I've done a lot of trials of these, so dang it. Sorry about that. I've done lots of different trials of this, and I guess it didn't like it. So here I have the penguin set up for you. So what's really cool about this, you can zoom in and see a little bit more details of the penguins. And then you can manipulate where you're looking, and you can look out on the landscape. And if you look over here, which is really interesting, is you see a person, and in the background you see their tent over here. So that's pretty interesting. I think the kids would really like that, getting to explore and find things, and when they present to the class they can show them little bonus extra things like this. So if you keep zooming around, there's a bunch more penguins. So that's one thing you could do with the Voyager setting right here. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out, exit Street View, and zoom out and show you the world again. And look how clear this image is of Antarctica. And if you zoom out, and this is everywhere, maybe here's a picture of a hut, and then another, somewhere else they had a picture of a glacier, and there's just, I think you can maybe incorporate this in any unit that you're working in some way or another. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go out to the earth. So something you could do with your classes, maybe for the younger classes or the older, this is really for any and all age groups. Here we are in the United States. You could have them all together in a group, and then you put it over the projector and you can introduce a unit, like moon phases, as I was saying, or maybe you could all together go through the ecosystem. Maybe with the smaller ones, that's what I would do. And then for the older ones, you could do an independent project, like a scavenger hunt, like maybe one group has to find the giraffes and the penguins, and then they have to do their own presentation over it. Something else you can do is small groups, like I said, independent studies. And there's literally a million different things you can do with this. You can do cities, you can go to tours. Like down here we have a tour guide, and it already has some preset tours for you right here. So since it's on the United States, this is what it's showing you. If you move over to South America, it shows you some tours down there, or Africa, Europe, Russia, Asia. The possibilities are really endless here. And another really cool thing is that a student could record their own tour. So you can maybe do this as a project, as a group, and they all have to have their own tour that they record for whatever unit you're going over, whether it be ecosystems or maybe cities, or maybe in the past you can have them show the class how things have changed over time, maybe climate even. So really, there's lots and lots of room for creativity with this app. I really encourage y'all to find a way to use this in your classroom. It's really interactive and really interesting for them. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.